The butterfly seems to be something decorative. It flutters. He sits on a flower, and as if it just decorates the summer. But here's the reality. A butterfly is not an ornament. This is the working mechanism of the ecosystem. As long as you see a beautiful wing, nature sees several roles at once: pollinator, caterpillar, consumer of plants, food for birds, and a living sensor of how healthy the environment is in general. Remove the butterflies and the problem will not only be that it will become less beautiful, the problem will be that the connections will start to break. Small ones, but massive, and it is on them that nature rests. Butterflies have an important feature. An adult butterfly and a caterpillar do different jobs. Adults often drink nectar and may participate in pollination. Caterpillars are mostly herbivorous animals, strongly tied to specific food plants. That is why butterflies are so closely related to plants at both stages of life. And that's their strength. The butterfly literally stitches together the world of flowers, the world of leaves, the world of birds, and the world of seasonal changes. Go. 10 functions of butterflies in nature with detailed analysis. 1. Pollination of flowering plants. Let's start with the most famous one. Yes, butterflies do work as pollinators. They are less efficient than many bees because they usually carry less pollen, but they still contribute to pollination, especially in some plants that are adapted for daytime visitors with a long proboscis and planting from the site. That is, the butterfly is not the main pollinator of nature, but it's real and sometimes important. 2. Plant support through the nectar-flowers-insects connection. Adult butterflies depend on nectar sources. This means that they support the meaning of the existence of flowering areas, meadows, edges, roadsides, and various grasses. Where there is food for butterflies, it is usually better for other pollinators. That is why butterfly conservation programs almost always go hand in hand with the restoration of flowering habitats. 3. Caterpillars are important herbivorous participants in the ecosystem. That's what many underestimate. The main hard work of butterflies is not adults. These are caterpillars. The caterpillars eat leaves, shoots, and sometimes flowers and other plant tissues. That is, they are part of a large block of herbivorous insects through which plant energy goes further along the food web. And yes, sometimes it looks like harm. But in an ecosystem, this is a normal channel for energy redistribution. 4. Fine-tuning the relationship between plants and herbivores. Many butterflies are very attached to specific food plants at the caterpillar stage. This means co-evolution. Plants develop defenses, caterpillars adapt, and as a result, very precise species-plant relationships are born. It is these connections that create the complexity of nature. Not everything eats everything. A subtle specialization. 5. Energy transfer up the food chain. Butterflies and especially caterpillars are food for birds, bats, spiders, predatory insects, and other hunters. Moreover, caterpillars are one of the most affordable and massive packages of protein in the season. Therefore, the decline in butterflies affects not only the colors, it also hits those who feed on them. 6. Bird breeding support through nestling food. This is a particularly powerful point. When birds are feeding their chicks, they need a soft, nutritious, mass-produced food. And the tracks are often perfect here. That is, butterflies are indirectly involved even in the breeding success of birds. Not like grown-up beauties, and like caterpillars, they are inconspicuous but extremely important. 7. Environmental quality indicators. Butterflies are often used as an indicator group. Why? Because they react quickly to changes in humidity, temperature, vegetation structure, the quality of meadows and forest edges, and the availability of forage and nectar plants. Their composition and abundance clearly show what is happening to the habitat. The point is simple. If butterflies have started to disappear, it is often an early signal that the environment is already deteriorating. 8. Ecosystem restoration indicators. Butterflies are useful not only as a signal of trouble, they are also useful as an indicator of recovery. If different types of butterflies return to the site after restoration, This is often a sign that the habitat has become working again. There are flowers, there are forage plants, there is a structure of the environment. 9. Participation in seasonal logistics of ecosystems. Some of the butterflies make long-distance movements and migrations. The most famous example is the monarch. Migration helps to escape from the cold, the death of forage plants, and even reduces the pressure of some parasites. That is, a butterfly is not just a summer episode. In some species, this is a whole system of seasonal redistribution of life. 10. Support the functional diversity of insects. It's not just numbers that matter in an ecosystem. Different professions are important. Butterflies are a separate functional group, daytime, visually oriented, often working on flowers, with very specialized tracks. The more such different groups there are in the system, the more complex and stable it is. One unexpected effect that is often overlooked. The most underrated effect of butterflies is this. A butterfly's main job is often not a butterfly, and the caterpillar. People are looking at a flower and a beautiful wing, and they think, well, yes, pollination. But from an ecosystem perspective, the caterpillar is often even more important, because it is she who binds plants to birds, converts leaves into animal protein, and keeps a huge chunk of the food web in working order. That is, a butterfly is like a two-story system. Above, beauty and flowers. Below are leaves, protein, and food for the next level of living. 10 unusual facts about butterflies. 1. The butterfly feels the taste with its feet. Butterflies have chemoreceptors on their legs. They literally taste the plant when they sit on it. This is important both for finding food and for choosing a place to lay eggs. 2. The proboscis is not a needle, but a complex tube of two halves. The proboscis of a butterfly is formed as two halves that connect. It is needed for drinking liquid food, most often nectar. 3. Not all butterfly colors are just pigment. Some of the coloring in butterflies is not created by paint, but by the structure of the scales, which works in a special way with light. That is why some blue and iridescent butterflies look almost unnatural. 4. Wings are covered with scales. The word Lepidoptera is not just a beautiful name. The wings and body of butterflies are covered with microscopic scales that are involved in coloration, thermoregulation, and signaling. 5. Most butterflies in the caterpillar stage are very picky about their food. Many species cannot thrive on any plants. They need specific forage plants, sometimes a very narrow set. Therefore, the disappearance of the desired plant equals a blow to the butterfly. 6. Butterflies undergo a complete transformation, egg to caterpillar to pupa to adult butterfly. It's not just a change of form. This is actually a change in lifestyle and environmental role. 7. Migration among monarchs is one of the most famous insects in the world. North American monarchs make long-distance seasonal migrations. This helps to avoid frosts, the disappearance of forage plants, and reduces infection with certain parasites. 8. Butterflies are good indicators but not a universal substitute for all pollinators. This is an important clarification. Butterflies are really useful as an indicator group, but they cannot be used to automatically judge the condition of, for example, bees. These are separate groups with different ecologies. 9. Butterflies and plants have a deep evolutionary race. The relationship between caterpillars and forage plants is one of the classic examples of insect-plant coevolution. That is, butterflies help shape the plant world not only as pollinators, but also as herbivores. 10. Butterflies react quickly to climate and environmental changes. Due to their short life cycles and heavy dependence on plants and the microclimate, butterflies are often the first to show that the system is starting to malfunction. That is why they are so loved by environmentalists as an indicator group. Conclusion: a butterfly is not a flying flower. These are pollinator, caterpillar herbivore, food for birds and other predators, and one of the best signals of that, what is the state of the environment? Take away the butterflies and the world will not only be poorer for beauty, he will become poorer in connection. It is the connections that keep nature in working order. If it was useful, subscribe. Here we analyze animals like this to make it clear who really keeps nature in working order. And write in the comments, what surprised me the most, that a butterfly tastes with its feet, or that its main hidden job is to be a caterpillar and feed the food web?